My name is Mary Ellen Tast, and I'm the Dean for Outreach and Workforce Development at Laramie County Community College in Cheyenne, Wyoming. So our area of the college works with businesses, works with Wyoming Department of Workforce Services, and of course our local representative for the Federal Apprenticeship Bureau to help develop apprenticeship programs for our businesses here in town. And so we work with the businesses and with the Federal Apprenticeship Office to make sure that our training aligns with the business needs and also aligns with the standards required by the federal government. So it really depends upon the industry. And so the standards already come to us, and so the focus for the students is based on what the needs are of industry, married up with what the standards are for the federal apprenticeship program. So it would vary. Currently we're working with 2 different businesses running both a plumbing and an HVAC apprenticeship program. We're hoping to expand that, but then the standards and their focus is really based on the industry needs. I truly believe it is a force for economic development in our community because it helps to ensure that the educational process, the training that's happening at the college really meets what business and industry are looking for a more productive workforce. And so by providing that more productive workforce immediately on the job, we're actually impacting the bottom line for that employer. The apprenticeship program is impacting the bottom line for the employer, thus driving economic development for our state. It depends upon if you're talking about the student or the business. For the student, you're really building the skills in the student to make them more productive, more employable, more marketable if they're looking for a job, if it's a pre-apprenticeship program. And also it impacts their salary because it makes them more valuable to the employer. The employer receives a more valuable employee because they're skilled with the exact skills that business is looking for. I'd just like to add that I think this is a great partnership between multiple entities. The partnerships between the educational institution, the employer, the Wyoming Department of Workforce Services, and the Federal Bureau of Apprenticeship, our local office. And that partnership helps to ensure that the training and the employment are truly aligned to make a more valuable workforce to the state of Wyoming.
My name is Carmelie Rose, and I work for the Department of Workforce Services, and my title is the Deputy Administrator of Business Operations. The department works directly with the Department of Labor Apprenticeship, Michael Broad, and we work with Michael with businesses on developing apprenticeships. In addition to, we work with training entities on training the apprenticeship business and their employees. The agency is helping with some of the funding for these apprenticeships through the Workforce Development Training Fund. The training entities, which for instance LCCC, will fill out an application requesting funds to help fund the program, and today we have been assisting with that in a couple different apprenticeship programs. Throughout Wyoming, we have businesses that want to increase the skill level of their employees. Through apprenticeship, this is a great opportunity for those businesses to increase those skills for those employees. Apprenticeships can be anywhere between 6 months, 9 months to a year to 4 years. 1 year to 4 years, which would cover different levels of apprenticeship depending upon the program. And so these businesses, especially in the trades, they can, a plumber can get to a journeyman very, very quickly over 4 years through their employer, and the employer benefits because he's got a skilled worker. Employers can get involved by contacting Michael Broad through the Department of Labor Office of Apprenticeship, myself, Carmelie Rose at the Department of Workforce Services, or their local community college. The youth would benefit from going through an apprenticeship program but it helps them increase their skill level in their profession that they are interested in. So if they are interested in being an electrician, or a plumber, or in HVAC, they can become a journeyman over a 4-year period of time if that's within the program. So they can become a journeyman and still be employed while they are getting their journeyman. Earn while you learn. Basically, apprenticeship, this partner that we have between Michael Broad and the colleges throughout the state, is helping us grow and increase our skilled workforce. And this is a good thing for not only our economy, but also our businesses in the state.
My name is Mike Broad, and my title, I'm the State Director of the Office of Apprenticeship. So I cover all of the apprenticeship programs in Wyoming, and then I'm the federal liaison in Montana. Registered Apprenticeship is a training program where a business, sponsor, conglomeration, union comes together and they develop a specific and structured training program. And the training program has 5 components. The first component is obviously the apprentice must be an employee of a company and or a participating employer with a conglomeration. The second component is there needs to be a related instruction component. The third component is an on-the-job learning component, which must be structured. There must be a wage progression. And then last of all is the employer or the conglomeration is certified as a training program, and the apprentices, when they complete the program, are then certified by the Department of Labor for that training program. We have a lot of little mom and pop shops. That's the backbone of Wyoming, is our little mom and pop shops. And oftentimes they can't provide the training for their employees. So what they can do is they can contact me, they can contact Carmelie, Mary Ellen, any of the colleges, whatever. And then we can all work together to try to develop a program that fits their needs. Registered apprenticeship is industry directed, so we fit their needs. And develop a program that works for them to train their own employees. You know, we have a couple of statements, train your own or grow your own. This is how it works with registered apprenticeship. And then they get the employees that work for them. They have the general skills for the occupation, but then more specific to their company or their organization. And so it kind of works very well for them. Another opportunity is if they ever work on a federally funded job, they are able to then request a Davis-Bacon certificate, and then they can pay their apprentices the wage that's in their program rather than the prevailing wage. And many other states do require it. If we have programs that go up into Montana, if they have apprentices, what they call apprentice, they must be registered apprenticeship, or they cannot work, those apprentices cannot work in Montana. I believe Utah also is the same way. We have 89 apprenticeship programs in the state. And so we have about 300, last I looked, 387 apprentices, 83 apprentices, something like that. Not enough. Well, they can contact me. That's the easiest way. I just talk everybody through this. When you become a registered apprenticeship program in Wyoming, you get me. And I will work everybody through this. If it's something that we require, the Department of Labor requires, I feel that I need to be the person that directs them. Carmelie can help them as well. She and I work together. Mary Allen she knows the spiel. We've been through this for years. So any of us can kind of direct them in the direction that a program needs to go to develop a program. And usually they're going to refer them to me as I walk them through the steps, because each of the programs do need to meet some regulations. And they're nothing more than regulations that almost all employees that have to meet anyway. So I walk everybody through, and if they're going to be part of a registered apprenticeship program, I'm going to be a partner with them in this. Most mom and pop shops don't have time. They don't have a person designated to be an apprenticeship coordinator. So I take on that role for them. And I can be as much assistance as they want, because I'll be a phone call or an email away for them. So I will walk them through the whole process and assist them all the way through whenever needed. We're involved in Wyoming with our entail projects. And I see registered apprenticeship as being a big component of that, or could be a big component of that. And especially as I partner with the colleges, but right now the colleges are in kind of a dire straits in regard to having funding to be able to offer the registered apprenticeship types of training that we need. And in Wyoming, we're small enough that we all should be able to work together to make this happen for all of our employers in the state. Most of our employers are small mom and pops. And I just see this as an opportunity for all of us to come together to help them grow their companies. And registered apprenticeship is going to be a great way to be able to partner to do that, to help them bring in the colleges, the workforce offices. I work a lot with the job centers, and Carmelie and I partner a lot together. This is a great way for all of us to help make that need and help grow our employers and companies in Wyoming.
My name is Bob Strassheim. I'm president of Mechanical Systems, Inc. Mechanical Systems is a full-service plumbing, piping, and site utility contractor. We started the company back in 1984. We do regional work throughout Wyoming, northern Colorado, and western Nebraska. We typically employ about 80 people. In our high time, get up as high as 100 folks. I've been real fortunate to do business in Wyoming. It's been a great place for our company. Well, we don't just want to participate in the apprenticeship program. We think it's a necessity for our business. Our apprentices are the lifeblood of our company, and without that training, we just don't have a future for the company. There aren't a lot of opportunities out there for training, so if we don't do it in-house, do it ourselves, the guys that are our future don't get the training they need. The benefits that we've seen through our apprenticeship training program are a more highly skilled workforce. We're able to teach them the kind of quality that we demand and that the industry needs. You know, in years past, the unions took on the responsibility of training apprentices, and they did a great job with that. But in more recent history, as the union membership has declined, I think that the non-union contractors like ourselves have really dropped the ball on training. I think it's so important that as employers we pick up that responsibility and continue to train the employees the way that they need to be trained. The industry needs it and our customers need it. We currently have 12 apprentices, and the apprentices do exactly what the journeymen do. Each apprentice is assigned a journeyman, and we rotate the apprentices through different journeymen so they get a variety of training. But day to day they're mentored by their journeyman, and they do the exact same things that the journeyman does. It's just that they have his oversight while they're in the program. Well, what happens to our apprentices when they finish the apprenticeship program is that they've got a job and a career with our company. That's our goal, and unlike the kids who go to college and have to pay to be trained, we're paying them while they're getting trained, and they've got a job when they're done. So it's a win-win. Well, as I said earlier, I'd tell you that it's not just something that you ought to do, it's something that we have to do to perpetuate the industry. It's very difficult to find trained people, and I hear contractors complain all the time that they can't find trained employees, but if you're not training them, who's going to? I think it's an obligation that every employer needs to shoulder. They need to step up and have their own apprenticeship program.
My name is Billy Goodwine, and I'm a plumber apprenticeship for mechanical systems. Well, I've been working here for a year and a half, a little over a year, and the owners of the company, Bob and Keith, offered me a chance with the apprenticeship program, and I volunteered and joined, and I'm really interested and excited about the class. It's a 4-year program, 8,000 hours. You roughly get 2,000 hours a year, along with 4 hours a week in class, which is roughly 9 months for schooling. And then you have on-the-job training, which is 2,000 hours a year, which at the end of your 4 years, you should have 8,000 hours. My favorite things about the program are that it's in-house training, and it's with the company. I received my journeyman plumber's license, and I get to continue working as a plumber for mechanical systems. It's an investment in yourself, and it's a good career, and it's a good opportunity for a lifelong job.